welcome.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so we're here to talk about arthritis this evening. Interesting topic and quite common amongst many people going through this.
Yes, because we have many types of arthritis, and the most common that we come across nowadays is osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis.
Yeah, we were just saying that.
Yeah.
So if you could just give a brief explanation of the differences.
Yes, definitely. With the osteoarthritis, it is more related to the wear and tear of the joints, and as we go more in age, there are more chances of having osteoarthritis.
Yeah.
So we have two bones, and then there's a cartilage in between that gives like a cushiony cover to the joints. And when this cartilage decreases with age or with wear and tear or with some surgery or injury, there is a direct contact of two bones together, and that leads to pain, inflammation, and arthritis.
So when you've got bone on bone, can that be repaired through lifestyle and eating and all these things that we're going to talk about tonight?
Yes, it depends on at what stage the arthritis is.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
But I was just wondering if there can be some sort of, like, what's in between, like the lubrication or something, if that could come back.
Yes, again, it depends on at what stage you are and how much you can do. So it includes mainly for osteoarthritis, as that is a vata condition, and vata means dryness. Ayurveda says when there is dryness in between the joints, and mainly your bigger joints, your knees, your hip joint. So the bigger joints, and if you're overweight, it can lead to osteoarthritis very easily. So maintaining your weight, and also if you are in such a age of at a stage of life where you think you can have osteoarthritis, it is important that you start the prevention of osteoarthritis. So Ayurveda talks about lubricating the joints, and sesame oil is a very good example to balance the vata dosha in the body, in the joints. So lubricating your joints with lukewarm sesame oil every day.
Massage.
Yes, massaging your smaller joints, your bigger joints with lukewarm sesame oil, maybe in the morning or in the evening, or maybe twice a day, will help in balancing the vata dosha and balancing the cartilage in between your joints.
Right, and ingesting it as well?
Yes, so having meals which balance the vata dosha means not having dry meals or not having raw meals. So cooked food, you can cook with ghee, you can cook with oil. So something which is nourishing the body and it's not drying the body more will help with this condition.
Okay. And what sort of foods shall we stay away from? What sort of foods shall we eat more of? There's a general.
Yes, so if I talk about the doshas, so as you know that as osteoarthritis is more related to the vata dosha, so having all those kind of food that would balance the vata dosha means avoiding cold food, cold meals, refrigerated food or frozen food, or drinking cold water, icy cold water. Again, the food that will help is warm meals, having lukewarm water, having activated nuts instead of having dry nuts.
Activating means soaking them.
Yeah, so you can soak them overnight and you just have it. For example, almonds, so you can soak it overnight, you can peel it off in the morning and just have that one. So avoiding dry meals like chips, crackers, biscuits, all these are drying in nature.
Well, even if you wash it down with a warm drink, it still doesn't work?
Yes,
No,
it's
no.
still drying.
Yeah.
So if you're snacking on meals, maybe you can snack on some fruits or some good nuts, activated nuts and seeds instead of chips and biscuits and all those stuff.
Does that include nut butters? Is that included or not really? Is that too greasy?
Yeah, that is something different.
Heavy.
And again, it depends on your digestion, how easily you can digest those things. But the main thing is avoiding cold meals, avoiding drying meals. So this is what we have to consider if you're suffering from osteoarthritis.
Okay. What about movement? We were saying just earlier about moderate movement and exercise, not too sort of jarring on the joints. What sort of things? I don't know, swimming, yoga.
Yeah, so exercising, but in moderation helps with all these conditions. And even if you're not exercising, again, it will put a bad effect on your joints, and it will affect the mobility and the flexibility of the joints. So I can give you an example for this. For example, if we have a machine and the machine is running all the time, and if you're not nourishing it, if you're not lubricating it, oiling it, or cleaning it, it will stop one day. So same goes with our joints. So we are using our joints very often, every day. Our hands, our fingers, our knees to walk, arms, legs, and if you're not nourishing them, or if you're not taking anything for our joints, if you're not doing anything for our joints, definitely it will stop one day. So giving proper rest is also important, not rushing all the time, not using them every time. So giving proper rest, and then exercising in a proper way means rotating your joints nicely, all your joints, lubricating your joints, giving hot baths or steam to the joints is another good way
So
to
saunas
nourish.
are good.
Yes, to nourish your joints. And in case of osteoarthritis, when people they suffer from osteoarthritis and they come to us, we do two things. One is lubrication, which is with the oil, and the other one is local steam.
You put steam on it.
Yeah, so no, not a steam on it, but there are different ways to give them steam. So we are just focusing, it's not like a sauna, but if someone is having problems with the knees, so we will be focusing just on the knees.
Yeah. So how do you get the steam on just the knee?
It's like an instrument
Oh.
which is specialized for all these kind of treatments. So there is a nozzle to it, and there's a pipe, and then we do the local steam. Or sometimes there are some like pouches made of some herbs that we do the local steam with.
Okay.
Yeah.
So steam. So if someone wants to just do it at home, they can. A hot shower will work. I mean, I know that's different. What you're saying, to have that treatment is good to have. But if they can't get there in a hurry, or they want to do something the next few days at home, what can they do? A warm bath, and you said bath. Does the shower work? for
Yes,
steam?
it will work, but again, it should not be only a dry shower. So just lubrication, oilation first, and then doing that.
So dry showers, not
No,
using oil.
No. It means you have to apply oil first.
First.
Yeah,
Correct.
to nourish, to lubricate, and then steam.
Apply the oil, then get in the shower.
Yes.
Come out of the shower, and then put some more oil on.
Yes.
Sesame oil for the joints.
Yeah.
You can buy that from any health store.
Yes, you can.
Can you put something in it? I don't know. Do you recommend putting something in like lavender or chamomile oil or something, just as a general, give it a bit of extra kick?
It's not very important.
Not important.
Just sesame oil will work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you hear people talking about medicated oil, make it more medicinal by adding something in.
Yeah. So we have many medicinal oils as well. Like Bala is one of the herb that we use mainly for conditions like which has vata imbalances. So that is what is medicated oil. But if we talk about what everyone can use, is the best example is sesame oil.
Right. How do you
What-
spell that?
Bala, B-A-L-A.
Bala oil.
Yeah.
Is that just oil? What from what, a plant?
Yeah, that's a herb. That's a plant, Bala.
It's not combined with sesame. It's separate.
Yeah, it is prepared, like sesame oil is in there, so it is prepared with sesame oil in it. So if you talk about, if someone is using only sesame oil, if they do not want to use medicated oil, that's fine. But to get the extra strength, we put in some extra herbs like bala, like ashwagandha. So all those things we put in to make it more effective.
Gee, that's such that herb pops up a lot. Ashwagandha.
Yes.
Is that like the best, one of the best herbs?
Yeah, because it has many good qualities, and it works on a lot of concerns. If you talk about the mental health, physical health, even though in arthritis also we recommend ashwagandha.
So people can go to any health store and get that.
They can, but if they have any other concerns, they need to know how much dosage
Yeah.
they have to start with.
Yeah.
So it's good to have expert advice before you start it on your own.
So it helps with depression and anxiety,
Yes.
calms people down.
Yes.
Interesting. Yeah, and that comes in a powder. I did see that at the health store. The ladies were talking about it. The Marion Health store, they were talking about how good ashwagandha is. It really relaxes people. Like naturally, it's not doesn't have side effects, does it?
No.
No. Gee, how good's that? That we can get a natural something to make us feel relaxed.
Yes.
That's what we all want. I mean,
Yeah,
we'd rather not take something that's going to have side effects, right? That's just a
Yes.
logical thing.
Definitely. And ashwagandha is a very good herb for rejuvenation. So, rejuvenation of your mind, rejuvenation of your body. So, as we grow in age, rejuvenation is a very important aspect of age. So, if we want to rejuvenate our body, rejuvenate our cells, taking ashwagandha is a very good option.
Beautiful, excellent. All right. What about bed? Look, sleeping. I saw something about not to have naps in the day. Is this true? Avoid naps, but go to bed early instead and rise early. Is that what you'd say?
Yes, that is a very good point, and that is more related to rheumatoid arthritis
Oh, is
as
it?
well. Because rheumatoid arthritis in Ayurveda, we say it's more related to digestion, and of course osteoarthritis as well. Because you know that Ayurveda doesn't look at your signs and symptoms. We will not work on the pain or only the inflammation or the stiffness. We will go into the root cause of the problem. So the root cause of the problem can be anything which increases vata in the body. It can be your bad digestion, it can be some kind of stress, it can be related to the sleep. So anything can be there. But if you're talking about the sleep, so I was talking about rheumatoid arthritis. So rheumatoid arthritis is when there is indigestion and it increases the toxicity of the body.
Right.
And when we have toxins and we have vata dosha increased in the body, it leads to rheumatoid arthritis. And we all know that if we do not have a good sleep, it affects our digestion. So if you're not having a good sleep, our digestion is affected. If our digestion is affected, it can lead to some kind of arthritis.
And can you just explain for the listener who doesn't know what a vata, when you refer to vata, can you just explain what that is, vata, just briefly?
Yes, so Ayurveda basically talks about the three doshas and says that every person on this planet is made of the three doshas, vata, pitta, and kapha. So these are three kinds of energies which are present inside us and they perform different functions inside us. So I'll focus more on the vata. So the function of vata is movement. Function of pitta is metabolism. And function of kapha is energy, lubrication. So the vata dosha is responsible for the movements in the body. And if you talk about arthritis, any kind of arthritis, the most common dosha which is related to arthritis is the vata. If there is an imbalance of vata dosha, you can come across arthritis in future. And when some people they come to us who have a body type of vata, a vata body type, we can tell them that what kind of diseases they can suffer from in future if they go out of balance, and one of them is arthritis.
Interesting. Wow. Okay. So we also want to avoid eating spicy foods. I've got that on my list too to mention.
Yes. So again, spicy food, very hot spicy food increases. It destroys or it affects your digestion.
Gee.
Yeah. So sometimes it creates a lot of wind in our gut, in our system, and it increases. If there is wind, there is vata. So wind and vata, they are related. So anything causing wind in the body can lead to vata.
It's good you say that, because a lot of people are in the mindset that chili's good, increases your metabolism, people can lose weight if they eat hot spicy foods. That's a thing that you ask most people, they say that chili's good, but yeah, I'm glad you're clearing that up just to be careful.
Yes.
Different body types can respond quite badly to spice.
And we have very good spices that we can use to balance the vata dosha and to avoid arthritis. Like fenugreek is a good example to balance vata dosha. We can use ginger. Ginger is a good example. Cumin. all these spices instead of having chili. So
Mm.
these are very good spices that will help in improving on our digestion and balancing the vata dosha.
Okay. So before we finish off, is there anything else that will help people with this situation? Just as a general discussion tip at the moment, I know people can come and see you for a more in-depth analysis of their health, but just some other things they can take away this evening just to think about to help them.
Yeah, of course. So if people, because Ayurveda talks more about prevention and healing, and how to heal yourself naturally, and how to live a longer life, a more healthier life. So if people want to prevent this condition, any kind of arthritis, they have to be very careful about their gut, what they're putting in their gut. And the first sign, if they see any kind of, if the food is not being digested by the body, they can't ignore that. So they should take some expert advice that how they need to improve their digestion, because most of the diseases, they originate from your gut. So it's very important that you take care of your gut, you take care of what you're putting in your gut. Is that helping you? Is that being used by your body or not? So that is a very important thing. And also lubrication, again I will mention, for all the arthritic conditions, oilation, lubrication is very important.
You've got to get a bottle of sesame oil and have it by the bed, massage the knees, massage the feet before bed, and leave it on and sleep with it on, you think?
Yes.
Yeah.
And lukewarm, very very important, lukewarm, because
Warm it up.
yeah,
How do we do that?
you can put it in warm water.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you had to do the double boil thing. You know how you melt chocolate, how you got to put it in a glass thing and do the
Yes.
steam, so
Yes.
it's gentle.
Yeah, so you can take like a hot water in a bowl, and then you can put the bottle of sesame oil in it. It will warm it up, and then you can use it, because it will be absorbed very easily if it is warm.
Not the whole bottle though, only the bit we want to use.
Yes, you can use that.
Okay, awesome. Anything else? Sunshine. I've got a few things on my list here. Vitamin D, vitamin E, like sunshine.
Yes.
So we know sunshine's good for everything, right?
Yeah, so very important that you take a control and you keep an eye on your vitamin D levels, your calcium levels. All those things are very good for your joints. And if you are deficient of those things, maybe you start taking few things in your diet, or if you like to have some supplements, you can do so as well. So
Okay.
taking care of all those things are again very important for your bone health.
And maybe one last thing we can say is don't stress, because we all hear that everyone can do everything right. We can eat well, we can do yoga, we can everything, but if we stress, forget it. No matter how well we eat, it's not going to be taken up by the body. So we've got to work on de-stressing, meditation, yoga, prayer, whatever works for everyone.
Yes, exactly. De-stressing and taking rest.
Rest.
Resting the mind, resting the body, very important.
And get some ashwagandha.
Of course.
Was there something else you were going to say? Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, yeah, that's all.
That's all. Awesome. Thank you. Right on time.
Thank you.
Thanks
Bianca.
again for coming in.
Thank you so much, Bianca, for having me here.
You're welcome. Thank you.